So I make this video to promote this awesome game and its Kickstarter, only to find out not even a day in the Kickstarter actually passed its goal.
Oh.
People wanted this. People wanted another... Well, I don't know how much people wanted, like, classic Star Fox, but they wanted a successor to Star Fox, much like, people wanted Monkey Ball.
Oh yeah, no, and I mean, honestly, from what I've seen of this game, we're getting it. This is Ex-Zodiac, that's currently being made by Ben Hick... Honestly, Ben Hick something or whatever. And it's going to be launched on the PC, and yeah, like, Logan pretty much said it best. This is pretty much going to be a full-on successor to Star Fox. So much so that you're playing as a not animal-like character on a flying fighter jet.
Oh, it doesn't have the weird gore.
That looks pretty humanesque to me, though.
It looks humanesque.
Trust me, Hype, I thought the exact same thing, but then when you pay attention to certain details on the face and actually look up some concept art on the Kickstarter, she's supposed to be a monkey girl.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, other than that, like, I don't know if they're going to have the weird warbly dialogue as well, but they certainly got the low poly of Star Fox 1 and 2 down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, though I guess there is one thing that sort of deviates from the original Star Fox in that this game is both fast-paced and really fun.
I wouldn't say it also, like, there's also, like, this little bit in my brain that, like, there's something so confusing about, there's something so confusing about seeing low poly, but it running so smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it feels so unnatural. Like, it looks like something, it feels less like a game that would be on the Super Nintendo, but more rather something, like, be on, like, the Sega Saturn or something.
Right.
I can see that. Oh, boy.
But yeah, so, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much... Like, again, it's a full bona fide Star Fox-like experience. You still have your blasters, which can be upgraded to a twin blaster. You do still have the iconic Airlon roll, which, I mean, is about as useless as it was in the Super Nintendo game. It's mimicking, and you also have a thrust meter that activates either a boost or brakes, but just like in the actual series.
Are there any, like, super bombs?
Not yet, but they are planning on adding in bombs like in the later update. Which, speaking of which, so yeah, as I mentioned before, currently there's a Kickstarter going on for the game, and I mean, as I mentioned, it already reached its goal, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, still contribute to it anyway, because they still do offer up the perks. Like if you pay a certain amount during the Kickstarter, you will get the game, and additional stuff like the soundtrack, an art book, and first access to it. Like right when the Kickstarter is all done, they're literally going to launch like the very current build of the game at the time for players to test out and get feedback.
Huh.
Okay, I'm looking at the Kickstarter page now, and yeah, so the main character's name is Kiyu, and yeah, definitely a monkey girl. This ship is not an R-wing, but the Ultraviolet Mark III. They want to have 12 levels at minimum. Oh, and as you can see, there are bosses.
Warning.
Oh, of course.
Warning.
What's a Star Fox game without the bosses?
Oh, Scorpion.
Oh, wow.
Giant scorpion with sprite-based spike balls for arms.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
So I'm looking into this now because I was curious. Because I was curious about this. Oh, geez, nice environmental destruction there.
Oh, boy.
Looking through this. Looking through this, they do not have any stretch goals planned yet. They just want to make a base game. If they do get anything that they get over the budget, they say will go to just either, in general, just more game. But yes, as James said, you'll get first access. There is a digital art book. You can get special recognition in the game for being a mega backer, and they also have a Discord server you can go to.
I know the highest paid backers will actually have their name tied to sponsorships that the game will.
Oh yeah,
like fake sponsorships, like this is James Van Brand Cola, which I mean, there's totally not going to be James Van Brand Cola because I didn't pay that much.
This game is brought to you.
Go ahead.
This game is brought to you by Lucky Jack Airlines.
I was gonna say lucky. Nice. I was gonna say lucky linguine pasta, but fair enough. Just things like that. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's cute, and I will give them the credit.
Oh, real quick, one last joke. Take a scenic trip to the Celestia Mountains.
Dun dun dun. Mount Celeste.
The Celestia Mountain? What?
He was trying to make the joke about the Celeste Mountain thing. See? Celeste Mountains? Anyway, so I noticed that fortunately...
Oh, ha!
There you go. I noticed that before this video is done, they did give you at least one other demo level.
Oh yeah, there are 2 levels for this demo, and I mean, it goes without saying that we're going to be showing both of them off.
Alright.
Okay.
But one thing I want to do real quick is change that controls, because honestly, I do like playing my Star Fox clones a certain way, and, well, want to make sure that's still... Oh yeah, so it's here where you can also change the frame rate for the game, and the aspect ratio, which...
I love that you could, if you wanted to get the true Star Fox experience, you could throttle that sucker to 15 frames per second.
That's amazing.
And I'm just going to warn you right now, do not play this game at 15 frames. It is literally unplayable if you do so.
But you know what? You know what? That being said, I kind of do like that they give that option for people that want to feel as like authentic as possible.
Right.
If it was going to be as authentic as possible, it'd be a lot slower.
Oh, I guess that is true. At 15 frames per second at this speed, it would just feel more like a slideshow.
It would be a literal slideshow that you barely have any control over.
But, yeah.
Well, you could always do like the 20. You know, how fast did Ocarina of Time run?
20 frames.
Okay, well, you could always have it be like that.
I mean,
true.
yeah, the game's playable enough at that frame rate, even though I don't think it's preferred.
So let me look into this. So, what we're listening to right now, I love this soundtrack, by the way. It's made by somebody known as Plus Tech. So let me
and
look
honestly,
into this.
it's honestly, I get similar vibes to this kind of soundtrack that I also got from what was his name? There's another composer I've recently, Go-Road, who composed the soundtrack for Valhalla and the upcoming Bushiden.
Oh, that's right. I remember loving You mean Valhalla with all the number ones in it, right?
Yeah, the bar simulator.
Yeah, I gotta get back to playing that. So the Plus Tech also did 2 other games, it looks like. One of them being Melolignia 2, and one that I'm more familiar with, Skeleton Boomerang.
I don't think I've heard of those.
It's a silly platformer.
I hear the name Skeleton Boomerang, and I immediately think back to the ill-fated Vernon Breaker, which, I mean... want that
Does it make me nervous?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
it's all the fast obstacles. Whoa,
I guess. Imagine this kind of shit at 15 frames.
Nah, I die.
No,
but,
I'm good.
How is the challenge, do you say, James?
The challenge, I would say, is rough but fair. Because, yeah, there's going to be a lot of enemies that are flying on by, shooting their 2D pellets at you, and naturally, you got to build up some reflex. There's definitely going to be some trial and error involved with this game, but I think it's the right kind of trial and error. Like, it doesn't get too BS, in my opinion.
That's good. And yeah, no, I think they've already done a stellar job. It looks very nice to look at. I like the color palette they've gone for here.
Oh yeah, and actually, it was also mentioned in the Kickstarter. I mean, naturally, because it's the Star Fox clones. I mean, yeah, we already have the monkey girl that we're playing as, but they did promise there will be more piloted animal pilots.
Okay, I'm curious to see.
I don't think they'll be playable per se, and it's hard to say whether like we will also have our own brand of mercenary / meat shields.
One thing that would be really cool if they could do is like, I don't think they've listed it down yet, but one thing that would be really cool if they could find some way to do it would be if they had some way to, as a much later point, like in development, have like all range mode style dogfights for multiplayer options.
I mean, that would be kind of nice, but I'm convinced that they're primarily going to settle with, you know, the typical on-rails experience as opposed to doing anything remotely on all range.
Okay. Hype, what do you feel about how do you feel about this so far?
Well, it definitely looks like it's a really nice... Well, first off, I'll say for people that are, like, thirsting for a new Star Fox, this looks like it would be a nice appetizer until
Call it a
Nintendo does
hush,
something.
but I think I found the source of those tremors. It's good to see that this game has a similar low-key sense of humor that the Star Fox games do.
Thank I found
That's
it.
good.
But yeah, I agree with you.
Oh.
This seems like just something to tide them over while Nintendo does something else. I forget, Celia, what do you think so far about all of this Star Fox-ness?
It looks so chaotic.
So not really, so probably not something that you would personally try out, but oh jeez.
I'd be fine with watching it, but playing it, probably not.
Fair.
I might need a reminder. Was she with us for any of our Star Fox stuff?
I think she was with us for Assault and Zero.
I think for a little bit of that, yeah, because the characters were fun and all that. But yeah, I'll definitely have to spread this around and tell my friends about it because I know I have a good couple friends that really like.
Tell your friends the monkeys have come to ride flying machines.
Man, I still need to look into Starlink at one point.
Man, Actually, now that I think about it, that's kind of a twist. That like the monkey's the big bad guy of Star Fox, but this.
Oh,
Oh
right.
god, you're
Good guy.
right. This is a complete role reversal. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
granted, we don't know who the main villain is, but if it's a fox, then I'm gonna call it shenanigans.
That would be funny.
It better
But
be
also,
a fox.
What do we hit now? We've destroyed all of its segments.
There's one last thing to hit.
We hit the head.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. That was very polite of you to show us your weak point. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, if you're not careful, that thing will launch a very big mega death laser beam that will really hurt.
I figured. So yeah, 12 main levels. Yes,
sure?
they did.
Complete.
Yes, the Kickstarter does confirm that through the Star Fox there will be secret areas, side paths, different routes, a la 64, to go through. So yeah, I wish them all the best.
It's also worth mentioning that currently this game's only planned for PC, but they are considering the possibility of putting it on Switch at a later point in time. Which, I mean, honestly, a game like this really would fit the best on the Switch.
Yeah, considering what it's mimicking.
I was gonna say I would love for them to continue the trend of other third-party developers putting stuff on the Switch that Nintendo refuses to.
Yeah, I mean, why stop with Bug Fables? We could put Ex-Zodiac on the Switch as well and really show Nintendo where the money's at.
Yeah.
On that note, folks, we hope you all enjoyed our little look-see into the Ex-Zodiac PC demo. Again, there's a link for it on their Steam page, and I mean, it would really, even though there's really no need to anymore, if you want to still show your support, head to their Kickstarter and donate the buckaroos, and maybe you too can get the game without any additional cost.
Woo!
And of course, all the extra other perks. But until next time, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Good luck.